Welcome, everyone, to Ladder Daily Digest. We honor creators. And a few months back, we had Cheryl and Michelle on our show to talk about the startup of the Journal of Mormon Polygamy. Is that the correct name?
That's right.
And they apparently did it. They're going to have a conference coming up, and they're here to share the conference. But thanks, Cheryl and Michelle, for coming on the show.
So good to be here.
Who wants to talk details and what this coming event is first?
Well, I can start. We are so thrilled to announce our Journal of Mormon Polygamy conference, the first conference of, we hope, many. We're planning to do this every year, and our conference supports our journal. So the many of the presentations that are given at our conference will appear as papers in our journal, so people can read the finished product of those papers in our journal. And we've already opened up registration for our conference. It is at journalofmormonpolygamy.org. And the first day, we had a wonderful, wonderful showing of people who've signed up. So we're thinking that the conference will sell out quite soon. So we hope that everyone will quickly, if they really want to go, get their tickets quickly, because, wow, we're having a really great response so far.
Yes, it's fantastic. We have a lot of really, I think, fabulous things planned that make this conference it will be a very exceptional attendee experience, is our hope, obviously. As Cheryl said, every one of our presenters will present a paper that is either in the process of or has already completed peer review and will be published in the journal, which I'm thrilled about. That will really hopefully elevate. One of our goals has been to elevate the level of engagement on this topic specifically. So we really think that will help do that. And we are also doing, I think, a really fun thing where we are facilitating lunches with our presenters. So when you register on journalofmormonpolygamy.org, you can select if you would like to go to lunch with a smaller group where you can go mix and mingle and get to know different people and, rub shoulders with whoever you would like to talk to there, which I think is really exciting. Our lineup, we are just thrilled with. It's on March 21st and 22nd. And on Friday night, that's the 21st, our keynote address will be given by Barbara Jones Brown, who, among so many other things, she's the president of Signature Book, has co-written and then edited the 2 books with Rick Turley on Mountain Meadows. And then she also so when D. Michael Quinn passed away a few years ago, he had a manuscript very near completion on Post-Manifesto Polygamy that was locked on his laptop that they weren't able to get out, but they haven't been able to get access to it. They were able to get into that laptop, and Signature Book will be publishing that book by D. Michael Quinn, and that's part of what Barbara Jones Brown will be talking about. She also has done, we really are trying to facilitate good engagement on this very fraught issue. I think of all of the issues of Mormon polygamy, it's hard to find one that is more emotionally challenging and almost theologically, I guess in every single way, historically challenging. It's hard to find one that's more challenging than polygamy, and one that people are more dug in on their various perspectives on. And so we really we're thrilled that Barbara's going to come and talk to us also about sort of reaching over divides, the work that she has done with Mountain Meadows and Peacemaking. We think she'll be a great keynote that night. We'll also have a wonderful panel that we're very excited about on Friday. We have a full lineup of speakers on Saturday. Our keynote on Saturday will be Taylor Petrie, who will be speaking on the peculiar politics of polygamy, which I think will be fabulous. I haven't had the privilege of hearing him present, but Cheryl says that he's just a phenomenal presenter. So he will leave nothing to be desired. And then Cheryl, I
actually interviewed Taylor earlier in December, and he's a very, very nice guy. And I get to talk about him more than his, work. And he was surprised in a way that he got a chance to tell his story. He says, well, I don't get to say this very much often. So I'm, things were coming up in his mind about his, either childhood or college or whatever. And so,
good.
So yeah, Taylor's awesome.
Yeah, we're really excited. And then we do have a full lineup of speakers on Saturday that I think it's shaping up to be an outstanding conference.
Yes, so we've really tried very hard to get a good balance of people who write about polygamy or who have podcasts about polygamy. We have some who are actual polygamists themselves
Or who
as
live
well.
polygamy, yes.
Yes, who live polygamy. And so there's that aspect as well. So it's going to be an amazing exchange of ideas. And some of the speakers that we have are well known for writing on polygamy, like Todd Compton and Don Bradley are very well known for their writings on polygamy. And we have some podcasters who are well known, like Jeremy Hoop and Gwendolyn Vine. Right. So, and many others. We have a fantastic women's panel that is about women's perspectives on polygamy. This will be led by Jasmine Bradley. And it will include Margaret Toscano, Charlotte Erickson, Celine Anderson, let's see.
And Whitney Horning.
And Whitney Horning, right? Right. So if
yes.
you know any of those, they could not be more different in their perspectives. And so that, I think I am looking forward to that probably more than anything, to see those different perspectives by the women. So that will just be so amazing. And we will also have another thing I'm very excited about is the University of Utah Special Collections will be coming to give us a little training on reading 19th century documents. And they, from what I hear, they're going to be bringing a few documents for us to look at and to help train us a little bit on how to read these documents and to get better at understanding them.
Yes, and I know that we're leaving some of our speakers off that we've already had papers coming in from. Our deadline is on the 20th, and we've been thrilled to see there are more papers coming in than we even knew. And so, as we said, also in addition to the conference, the journal will be publishing these papers and many more that won't be presenting at the conference. We really are wanting to facilitate this inclusiveness and engagement. So our conference will be a bit different, where every speaker will speak to the entire group of attendees. We won't split off into different smaller groups this time, into different sessions. And then also we are just tickled with the different perspectives that are coming to the conference to join the conversation, because it's kind of all of the stakeholders in polygamy need to be represented, given a voice, and engage with one another so that we can really work together instead of be so divided, because we all will benefit from engaging with other research from different perspectives. That's what Cheryl and I have found in our personal work. We've been busy as could be, planning the conference, getting everything lined up, and also writing our own academic paper that is going to be published, and it's gone through peer review. We're very excited about it. And then Cheryl has 2 more papers, and then we have probably, I don't know, like a dozen papers coming in at this point right now that we are really excited about.
That's right. And this is, you guys are creating history.
We appeared on your podcast a while ago. Do you remember exactly when that was?
So it seems like it was either July or August.
So a few months ago, we appeared on your podcast when we first started this project, and it is amazing to see it come to fruition now. Many people were telling us that we couldn't find scholarly work, or that we didn't have scholarly work ourselves. And now we are so excited that people will now be able to see what we're producing, what people are bringing to the table, and what our journal is going to be putting out. And our peer reviewers are amazing. We are choosing peer reviewers who have scholarly degrees and who have worked in the subject, who have very good knowledge, who can help with sources. And so it has really improved the papers so much to have this great peer review. And I think that people will be able to see a scholarly product and will be very surprised. The ones who didn't think that we could do this will be very surprised.
Right. And we'll have a link to the conference. We'll have a link to our prior show announcing the project. We'll also have a link to Steve Pinecker recently interviewed you the day before the tickets went on sale. And I'm sure you guys talked a little bit more about that, the whole event with him And so if people want more information about that. But tell me, after we interviewed, you had talked about how you had agreed with each other to do this project. What steps had to be taken in order to get a conference going? And what was that like?
Let's see if we can delineate it. Can I just add one thing before we jump onto that? I want to just publicly, again, as I always do, sincerely thank the people who have jumped on board to share their talents with us. We have a fantastic web designer who we are just thrilled with, does so much to help us. We have a conference chair Alba, who is just amazing and has jumped on board and is just such a go-getter, so smart and so much experience. So anyway, we have to say, Cheryl and I have not done this alone. Part of what we have been able to accomplish and really blessed to accomplish is being able to bring together people who are interested, as well as our board members, our editors that are coming on board. We're really, really just so pleased with the effort galvanizing around this to support it. So we hope to see that increasing as well. But that's been part of what we had to do was, from the very beginning, like, I think it started with having a vision and then having the courage and faith, I guess, like the belief in ourselves and in these communities to put it into practice. And that's mainly what it's been. Cheryl and I have been on the phone, maybe not daily, but maybe daily, and I think multiple times. Yeah, multiple times a day with all of the things that we've been working on. And so, is it
more phone calling or emailing?
Phone calling and texting and emailing, everything. Yes. But Jean, to answer your question about what it took to pull this conference together, I think it probably just started. I think it started with Michelle when she was at the JWHA, spoke with Barbara Brown, who was very supportive of our vision. And at that time, they actually discussed the possibility of her being our keynote speaker. And I reached out to Taylor Petrie. And from there, we've had different people approach us, or we've approached them. For example, I've known that John Hayacek had some interesting documents concerning Joseph Kingsbury, who wrote the Doctrine and Covenants 132, who was one of the copyists for that revelation. And John is very knowledgeable about Kingsbury and Whitney documents, and he agreed, probably with not very much notice, to come on and to present a paper. And then we had Dawn and Jasmine, who've been so supportive of our work. Jasmine especially, and works behind the scenes, speaking to her groups, her Facebook groups. She's put out our flyer on her Facebook groups and reached out to different people to be on panels. And so she's been very, very helpful. Who else, Michelle? Can you think?
So everybody's heard about Dawn. Tell us more about Jasmine.
Okay.
What her interest is in Mormon history.
I'm going to turn it over to Michelle to go on.
Oh, Jasmine's fantastic. Jasmine is a go-getter, so gung-ho, just such a good uniter and really good at helping make sure everybody's voice is at the table and everybody is heard and valid in their perspective and their experience. And then she's really just gotten into this environment and this community and has added so much. I know she's facilitating, along with one of our panelists, a large discussion group of women discussing polygamy from a variety of different perspectives. And she just does many different things that we're excited to have her and Dawn. Can I also say that I'm also so pleased with the opportunity for people that are more in my community, the people who are coming at polygamy from a different perspective after our deep study, because generally we've been engaging in a different way. We've been engaging online and in different kinds of publications and in podcasting, and to see these people be willing, just kind of like John Hayacek and others that we have said, would you write a paper for us? And that's in addition to what I know how challenging it is for me to get a paper done while I'm trying to keep my podcast going.
Right.
So
let me just jump in right here and mention Peter Brown, who talked to me, I think yesterday, and said, "What am I going to do? My paper is what did he say? 48 pages
47
long.
pages.
Really, really long." He's like, "I have to cut," and I was like, "This is great. It's a good problem to have, but it's so hard to reach that stage of now having to cut and get it in." He's got, let's see, 4 more days to get his paper in for peer review. But
is there a size limit?
Very hard.
20,000 words.
Okay.
Yeah, Peter is doing
I'll tell.
Yeah,
Do you want me
go
to
ahead.
tell?
Go ahead.
I'm so excited about Peter's paper. In fact, I knew that he had started this paper a long time ago, and I was like, please, please, please come present this paper. He is doing, his paper is tracing the development of the monogamy affirmer movement, of which I am a part. We often hear even scholars make supposedly scholarly claims to try to explain the emergence of people with my perspective, that polygamy, well, the theological perspective, that the scriptural record does not support that polygamy is of God, and then the historical record that we believe that the historical documentation does not believe that Joseph Smith instituted polygamy. So they try to make claims of why we have come to this perspective, which are completely erroneous, no matter how many times. So he is actually doing a very academic timeline to show this is what happened, and then this is what happened, and then this is what happened, and he will keep adding to it over time, putting more information into it, more data points. I mean, it is actually, there's a reason that it's 47 pages. It is such an important paper that I think will add so much to the that's what we need, is just more understanding, and this is the exact kind of engagement we need. So we're thrilled about Peter's paper, and everyone give Peter all the good vibes that he can get it cut down.
One thing that's cool about your conference, I think, is a lot of times when you go to something like Sunstone, there could be like 5 different really good presentations, and you have to pick one, or you have to watch half of one, half another, or something like that, or you have to wait until it comes out as a video or something on their website. Right. And so then you have to figure out the time. And so this is going to be cool to be able to just do it all in one. How long ago did you secure this university?
Oh, that's been a little bit. I want to talk about 2 more papers, but can I tell you about 2 more papers quickly? Is that all right? I mean, there's so many we could talk about. I'm thrilled about Claire von Barris's Lawless Women. I'm thrilled about Gwendolyn Wine is doing a paper on tracing the historical documentation from a different perspective and showing a different version of where polygamy came from that is very solidly grounded by documentation. And Jeremy Hoop, his paper is on the events that were happening in England and some really important things in England before anybody claimed to have learned about polygamy. So there's a lot of good information that's coming. And then, yes, with the location, we did have a previous location. Some might remember that our conference was going to be at UVU. We had a little hiccup there where there was one area that we had really planned to use that was double scheduled, and so we had a last minute. It's been, I think, Cheryl, neither of us is fully gray yet, but it's not for lack of trying. There have definitely been.
Let's see, there's gray here.
You're a little closer than I am, but there have been a lot of all-nighters and last minute. I mean, ups and downs constantly. So it's been quite a. We are thrilled to be at the point where we are.
Yes, and I think our venue is just going to be fabulous. It's funny because the minute we have a letdown and we're, starting to get depressed, then suddenly something will come through that is just amazing.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yes, and it's been really kind of a roller coaster, but mostly ups. We're just seeing the fruits of everything coming forth right now.
Yeah. And we are just thrilled with the scholars who are joining us, who are seeing the value of this. And I mean, we're just thrilled that Todd Compton is so supportive and willing to, I will submit a paper and present possibly. He's not able to travel, but we are looking at the possibility of having him present virtually. And then our keynotes and so many people that have been so supportive and willing to engage in this. We could not be more pleased.
That's right. Do you know what the seating capacity of the room that you secured is?
I think we're planning to sell around 300 tickets. And
wow. So
Yeah, we have a little bit more seating capacity, but we have, our presenters and guests and things like that,
right.
our volunteers. So we will be selling 300 tickets.
Wow. That is
Let me
sounds
just
amazing.
say, the first day we've sold 1/5 of our seats.
No, we're
already.
over that now. I think we're a little closer.
Right,
to
I didn't
that.
check
Yep.
this morning.
Mhm.
So
That is
we are
impressive.
yeah, we're doing really well. And like I said, I believe it's going to sell out really quickly.
It was September 22nd when we aired
Yes.
the announcement.
That's right.
Okay.
And was that pretty close to the time of the Whitmer History Association meeting?
It was after that was the first place we announced it. We took our little postcard pass along cards to the Whitmer Association and let everybody know that we were doing the conference on March 21st and 22nd. And sure enough, we are. Cheryl is doing 3 papers right now on this topic. It's amazing. And I have 7 children at home right now. So, so I'm not retired
8 children,
yet.
including the conference.
And Michelle is bringing out a high quality podcast every week without fail.
That's right. We'll have a link to Michelle's podcast as well. And so let's see, is there anything else we need to wrap up on? We'll have the links in the description. I hope everybody can go down into the description. It's just below.
Okay, you did mention Steve Pinecker, having a link to Steve Pinecker. We've been on Steve Pinecker, so if you want to know a little bit more about what we've said, details about how to register and that kind of thing.
That's right. And some podcasters also watch my show, and so if they want to interview you guys for the show as well with their own take, then you can either see me
okay, Jean,
or Cheryl.
We have talked to John DeLynn, and he wants to have us on and debating a few subjects, which is fun because Michelle and I do this all the time. Part of our phone conversation is often, what do you think of this document? And we have had knockdown dragouts about documents, and it's really fun. And we've thought so many times we should be recording this.
We should record all our calls.
Yeah, really and so that show will be like an advertisement for your conference as well.
Well, I'm not sure when we'll be able to appear on that, but we hope before the conference that will be scheduled. So,
yes, yeah. Cheryl and I have learned firsthand the value of engagement. Both of us have become much better on this topic by being pushed against by a different perspective, because Cheryl and I don't share the same perspective. And so being able ourselves to recognize, like every document we look at now, I think both of us go, okay, what's that perspective and what's that perspective and what's that perspective?
What would Michelle think about this?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so now I remember what I was going to say, and that is that leading up to Sunstone, Cheryl came on our podcast to talk about a teaser about her presentation or presentations at Sunstone. And I could do the same thing if you guys will connect me with the presenters.
Okay.
And it's not to say, oh, now that you've seen this presenter, you don't need to go to the conference, but it's like to just give them a taste of what it is. And it'll be more about their preparation and their bona fides or other things that they've, their interests and their story around creating their paper more than describing their paper. It'll have some teasers. And so thanks for coming on our show. It's 2025. Isn't that amazing?
It is.
How does the time pass?
Yeah. I've been saying when I was a kid, I never thought 2025 was just going to be like a normal sun comes out and stuff. Either Jesus was going to come or World War III was going to create Mad Max scenario.
Jean and I are the same age. And Jean, I thought when I was young, I thought I'd live to see the new millennium. I thought I'd live to be in 2000, but I thought I'll be really, really old.
That's right. By 2000, right. And here it is 25 years later. And our minds, I don't feel all that old. I think I reached maturity at 13 in my mind. And I'm almost living like a second childhood in my mind. I'm still feel like a kid. Do you feel like a kid still?
Oh, yeah. I feel like my eternal age is 18. So I've never.
You're an 18-year-old. Yeah. So anyway, nice chatting with you all. And we'll hopefully that the conference will, like you envisioned, will be a great success. And there'll be many more to come, right? That's the plan.
Yes, absolutely.
someday, people will look back and will be a historic day, the conference, and it'll be the first one. When the 25th anniversary comes around, Michelle will be our age, and she'll know what it'll be like to when we did this interview.
We
All
are
right,
so
thanks a
excited.
lot.
Yep. Be there. First conference. There'll be
That's right. Yes, you could say you were there if you go,
Yep.
if you show up.
Mhm.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great year. We'll see you.